Wheels on the bus going round and round. Got the wheels on the bus going round and round. Yeah, wheels going round and round. Yeah, and we rolling through your town. Yeah, hey, round and round and round and round and round. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome in to another edition of the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the one, the only Bank of Dudley since 1905. We are your first, your only source for mediocre, below average sports coverage. Man, we fired up you here with us this morning. My name is Chill. We got a couple of guys in here this morning. Not quite the whole crew, but we got the live crew, though. We got the live crew, not the whole crew. So let me go ahead and bring them in. Again, we got a lot to talk about today, so make sure you hang in there. You don't want to miss a lot going on in sports.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest laughing.
Sitting to my left, he looks like chewed up bubblegum with his shirt off. Nobody dries out a brisket quite like him. We're his only friends. His head is small, but his face is fat. I'm talking about the redheaded wonder, y'all. Matt Opie Hightower.
I might dry out a brisket this weekend.
You haven't known.
Never dreaming that
Never gets old. Dude, he's so jealous of my music. Gets the people cranked up at home.
He is a UGA graduate. He's a diehard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stink. His bottom row looks like he bit a brick. Everyone's an idiot compared to him. He's the one, the only pride of Buddy Johnson Road. Put your hands together for Adam Hight Hightower.
Morning, everybody. Just want to update y'all. I wish my bottom row is looking so much better.
It is getting better.
I thought I was about to stop you. I thought you were going to say good.
Hunker
down, Harry dog.
Hunker down for a fight.
Hunker down for a fight. All right, that's enough of that.
That's enough. Yeah, I gotta learn to.
Bulldog bite.
Boy, I wish anybody loved me as much as Adam loved him.
Self.
Listen, I'm just here for the people. This is just a little. It's kind of like professional wrestling. Now you got to put on a little bit.
We are a lot like WWE in here. Welcome again to the Big Ugly Sports Show. We're glad you're with us. Wherever you're listening, please make sure you like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And you can also visit our website at any point to see everything that's going on with us at www.thebiguglysportshow.com. So, big week this week, guys, in college football. We'll get to all that later as far as UGA Bama. You know, that's what everybody's fired up about. College game day going to be there. But how was your weekend?
I had a great weekend. Went to Co Wetzel, my big brother. The best host I've ever been around, man. He's phenomenal. I told him this week, I said, I'll never go anywhere without him again.
It was a good time.
Now, Adam, I got to ask, okay? Would you never go anywhere with him again because he's your brother and he was a good time, or will you never go anywhere with him again because he paid for all your stuff?
Listen, I had a good time.
Spit the truth here, Hight.
I had a great time because I wasn't worried about anything. I knew I was in good hands, and I knew that anything I wanted, I was going to have.
It was just like college again, wasn't
Yes, sir. It was phenomenal. It's what my children must feel like.
Now, from your lens, how was that? I mean, just a good time for Hight. Glad to help him. And anytime he wants anything going forward, you got him?
No. He got a lot of wants and needs, you know.
I'm a simple man.
Listen, I was in the moment, and it felt right.
It did.
And I love big dogging folks.
He was.
Dude felt like a baller.
He was big dogging people.
I paid $10 for a Coca-Cola for one of my buddies.
And that like it wasn't even a big deal, huh?
His buddy wasn't even standing in line. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, we were at the front of the line. My buddy was coming by. Man, if you can get me a Coke while you're up there. And I'd already swiped my car, and it's cashless. And I was like, can I pay you for it? She's like, well, we only accept you. I said, I'll give you $10 for that Coca-Cola. She said, I'll make it happen.
And then, this probably ain't funny to y'all, but then they told me the guy's name. I went over there and talking to him like I know him my whole life.
Oh, yeah. Hightowers don't meet a stranger at a concert.
No, they don't.
Co Wetzel was mid, though.
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember seeing him. Had my back to the stage most of the time.
Had a great hangout.
I was too busy texting Roger the whole time trying to figure out where he was at. So I was staying beside him.
Oh, I like you with the flat bill on this morning. Yeah, what kind of
swag?
I mean, this don't look. I mean, you got your Paris shirt on, but I mean, the hat it's not like boss now. Are we being buddy day? Is it buddy day at work?
Trying to make you feel comfortable.
Thank you.
This working.
Well, I didn't early. Couldn't get a blow dryer going this morning. Hair was kind of flat, pointing down. That's bad energy. I can't have that.
So what do you do going to work? Are you had at work today?
No, that's really unprofessional.
I agree.
I was about to say, I don't think the secretaries can handle you looking this good.
It's good to stretch them out every once in a while.
Oh,
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
test them out. I don't know. Whatever. Can we cut that?
It'll be tough there.
no, we gotta have that.
Very sleepy.
Got
Very
to.
sleepy.
Well, you look good.
Spank's gonna love that.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed it.
Get hot in here.
I saw him at the football game Friday night, and I can't remember who it was. One of his daughters or something who listens every time was asking why he don't come on the show, like why we don't get him on the show.
I tried to get him on here.
Well, he said that he's not made for this. He can't talk
He said
like that.
He don't talk good.
And I told him, I said, well, on I think it's Spotify. It actually transcribes our episode. I said, can you imagine what be coming out while you up there?
Heavy breathing.
Just can't put his words together.
Slobber everywhere.
Speaking of football game, though, I hate Roger's not here to discuss
Yeah,
this.
I'm a little disappointed because he kept telling me how excited he was to talk about this.
And I mean, but the good thing is I was also an eyewitness. Raji probably saw some things I didn't, but I'll tell you
It was
what
really
I saw.
perfect timing. Like you've been in the booth and you come down.
We come down at halftime, so we're calling the West Orange game Friday night, homecoming, and me and Roger are up top calling the game for TV 35, and we come down at halftime to hang out, and as I'm walking up, I see Hight in the end zone, which is a sighting you don't see. Like Hight, you're not going to see him at the game, and you definitely not going to see him halftime or later. And he's standing there, and I was like, dang, what's up, Hight? And he's down there talking to some people, and then
I got the three boys with me. They're playing, running around.
nowhere to be seen at this point. I mean, the Hight's
I know
approach
the
was,
drill.
this is fenced in here. We're good. Boys, y'all get after it.
I knew where they were at. There was a little spot where all the little kids are over there throwing a football.
That's
And my neighbor, Meredith Lawhorn, she was standing right there watching.
Clutch.
So fast forward, still halftime. Hight's talking. I'm talking to some other people down, I don't know, 10 yards from Hight. And you see Hight walk over. So a group of us stand there. And as he's walking over, you just hear him yell, like turn around and absolutely yell to this kid that's not his. He says, John Ross, I'm not buying you anything. You're not my kid. Get away from me.
I did not. That's fabricated.
And Raji even
Fabricated.
says, now this is coming from Raji because I had a different angle. Raji said he saw a two-hand shove. Now, how old is John Ross? 5. So,
And John Ross is one of my best buddies. He listed me, like in the neighborhood, he's my neighbor. He listed me as one of his top 3 friends. And he
who's
comes
the
over.
competition? Your
He
children?
comes over. No, it's for like all time. He comes over to my house all the time, eats snacks, plays. They do whatever they want. He
So
has a good time.
He says all this. This is to say it's okay for it that he pushed him. They've got that relationship where he can shove him and essentially tell him to shut up, leave him alone. I'm not buying you anything. You're not my kid.
Sometimes best friends have fights, you know.
They did.
He didn't hold it against me. He's good.
And then Raji. Now again, I wish Raji would hear your report because then I touched base with Raji later and he said he did see John Ross crying shortly.
No. My John Ross and my youngest son came over, and they were hounding me for drinks. I had a Powerade and water sitting right there, and John Ross was like, "No, I don't want that. I want you to buy me something else." And I was like, "John Ross, I got 2 drinks right here, buddy."
You're not.
And so he kept on hounding me, and I was like, "I've had enough of this. I'm gonna go back and talk to my buddies." He's still hounding me.
As best friends do.
In which I like I said, I love John Ross, so he's fine. He can hound me all he wants to. I'm just gonna tell him no. And like I treat him like I would have done one of my other ones, except I had to let him know he wasn't mine.
So poor John Ross. Law, we are Dr. Lawhorn. I'm sorry that Hight did that, and I'm glad Mitch wasn't here today. Mitch might have to. He might have to put a pop down on you for messing with family.
John Ross don't even know who Mitch is.
That dude that gave me them baseball cards my daddy won't let me have.
Yeah, that was Ford.
Same family.
Yeah.
So it was good. Me and Roger were dying, and everybody there that saw it.
There
we
just
heard
happened
it.
to be like 8 of my friends standing there, like, and they just all thought like
all loyal bus members too.
yeah. So
And
they were like, "This is perfect for this."
It was great time.
And I didn't even do it on purpose, guys. I mean, it's just me.
Just
Just Hight being Hight.
It's just Hight being Hight,
just
baby.
pushes little kids down. Oh man. And then Opie, I know you got it's heavy Opie today, so we got to go ahead and get what we got to get in Hight. But I do wish Opie. Did you see the video from yesterday? Have you seen the video of Hight at the pep rally? Okay, so let me lay this out. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you while I'm telling you after I tell you a little bit. So, we had our pep rally, first pep rally of the year at middle school yesterday,
And West Middle pep rallies are so much fun. I love them. I was my first one last year, and I was fired up for this one.
I left there thinking the same thing. The kids, first off, they're so well behaved, and then they get into it, and so it's very good. So we have all
Must be great administration over there.
No, well, it's like there is great administration from the top, but it's been like that over there. So. It's the pep rally, and they, you got all these different events. They're introducing kids and all that. It's a slam pack, 6th, 7th, and 8th teachers, everybody there. Well, one of the final events was Miss Tobler had the idea of we're going to get skateboards, and you have to sit on a skateboard and use a plunger to essentially kayak to half court and back. And so it's a sixth grade. I guess it was 6th grade class, 7th grade class, 8th grade class staff. Well, guess who happened to be on the staff relay team?
Little Hight over there.
Listen, when I found out, like an hour before the pep rally, they didn't even ask me. They just sent it down on a mass
You
email.
could have been training the whole time.
Yeah, I know. I could have.
Well, we're at a huge disadvantage because Alan and Buddy Johnson, you couldn't skateboard because we only had dirt roads.
Well, the good thing about it is you don't have to skateboard. You had to sit on it. So the rule was no hands, no feet. You had to sit Indian style on it or with your feet propped up on the thing. And you had to use the plunger to go. Well, I will start by saying the plungers we got were not top of the line plungers. They're just your standard, cheap plunger from Ollie's down there. So, and we found out that midway through as they blow the whistle to start, and these young ones come tearing out the gates, and you see Hight ain't moving. He ain't barely moving.
I'm sticking that thing on the floor, and it's just sliding across, and I won't move.
And so I'm going to try. I know I'm not tech savvy enough, but I'm going to try my best while we're talking about this to have this showing on YouTube. But I know I won't be able to. But Opie, you can kind of watch. That's Hight right there as he's out there using that plunger and not moving. And the other people are already coming back, and Hight ain't halfway down the first time.
But you think I gave up?
That little girl is having zero problem. Just flying past
It wasn't made for 230 to be pulling around. You know what I mean?
I can't even see the skateboard. But I believe it's under there somewhere, but I can't see it.
So Hight ends up. The head of the plunger falls off. We had to get him another one to repair that.
Then the head of that one falls off.
He throws his hands up. He's first. It's the plunger's fault. It's not me. It's the plunger.
Student body's booing him.
Dude. And then I ended up just cheating. I started scooting with my feet.
Yeah, I assumed you would cheat a little bit and use your hands the whole time.
No, I tried to do it on the straight up.
And it made it better because it ended up. We have a woman teacher who's obviously not a big lady, and she struggled. And then our other male coach, who's an athletic guy, he struggled with it. So it probably made Hight feel a little bit. But the best thing about it was that Hight was the first one to go, so nobody knew that's how it was.
In my mind, the whole time I'm thinking, man, I hope these other people suck as bad as I do because it's a bad look for me.
Meanwhile, your boy, I'm over there. I'm crying standing on the side. I can't control myself.
What's great is right before the whistle blew to start, he's thinking he's about to kill it.
Oh, 100%.
No doubt.
Yes. I had worked a strategy. I had got a couple, pools in there.
Yeah.
I noticed beside me during the event before that, he's over there repping what he's going to do. He's thinking, he's asking me, do you think I need to go, one side then the other side?
Yeah,
one side, or do I just need to stay
he's
on
doing
one side?
breathing exercises, getting ready to go, and then the whistle blows and nothing.
I tell you, it felt like I had done ab workout for 2 solid minutes. I mean, I was burning.
Man, it was so funny. I was dying over there because I just kept laughing because I don't know why.
And legit thought, oh man, I'm about to show everybody how to do this.
The best part, that was what I just showed you was after a little while. I mean, he couldn't get out the gate.
That was the best moving.
Yeah, he couldn't get out the gate.
Yeah, all the kids were coming back the other direction.
It was tough.
Oh man. All right. Oh. We got a short time before we have to take a first break, so this will give us an opportunity for you to say something so we can cut you off and go to break. But tell us a little bit about something you made a fool of yourself.
Yeah, I pulled a real Hight move this last week while I was gone.
Let me be the judge of that.
I was at a career fair, and we're lined up against the wall with our booths. We got a little 6-foot table up front, and then banners behind us. Most of the booths are all the same with each individual company, and I'm over there talking to students who are prospective hires.
Too many details.
And I'm trying to paint a picture here. Let me talk.
It's painted.
So I'm talking to a guy. I did not.
Okay.
Talking to a guy. Well, somebody comes up and it's like taking a picture of my booth setup, and I'm like, man, that's kind of not cool. You know, like if you did it on the slide.
Well, what if somebody likes the booth setup?
Well, you can admire it, but don't. It was like another employer.
Oh, okay, not kids.
No, it's an employer comes up and is like taking a picture of my booth setup, and I'm angry about it. I'm surprised. So I'm kind of talking trash. I was like, "What are you doing?" You know what?
Do you know the guy?
No, never seen a guy before in my life. Well, then a second guy within 2 minutes comes up, another employer, and starts doing the same thing, and I'm livid. I stop talking to the student that I'm talking to, and I'm pretty much yelling at this guy for taking a picture of my stuff. I'm like, man, why are you I can't believe you're coming up here just doing it so blatantly right in front of him. The guy in the booth beside me said, hey, there's a Wi-Fi QR code right behind your booth. I've just been berating people.
Did you go apologize?
No. Acted like it never happened.
That's pretty good.
I saw one of the guys I yelled at the career fair the next day in Auburn, and I just kept walking right past him.
What an idiot. I would never do that.
That sounds exactly like something you would do.
That's not true. That's not true.
How would you handle it, Hight? Man, y'all come on, take a picture.
I wouldn't have said anything. I would have been like, look, ours is way better than everybody. Look at they all taking our picture.
Proprietary, man. That I was hot.
You will get mad about something that don't matter now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, y'all. It is time for our first commercial break. We're about 17 minutes in. We've got some Braves baseball to talk about. We've got UGA Bama. We've got a special guest caller coming on in our segment 3. So y'all make sure you don't leave us because you're not going to want to miss what we got today. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
In the game of life, your choice of banks can make the difference between a championship performance and a trip to the showers. Since 1905, Bank of Dudley's been Middle Georgia's hometown banking team with a solid roster of banking products offering competitive rates and online services that help you cross your financial goal line. Come experience true relationship banking, local people, local decisions, local banking. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Dogs.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
For all your HVAC needs, please call Elite Comfort Solutions. We specialize in commercial and residential HVAC. The number is 833-483-HVAC, and the website is www.elitecomfortsolutions-inc.com. Call for a free quote today.
Big Peach Car Wash, located on Highway 80 across from Walmart in Dublin. Coming this fall. I hadn't washed my truck in 6 years. I'm breaking that streak this fall.
And we're back. Segment 2 of the Big Ugly Sports Show brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. Had our weekend recaps in segment 1. Now let's shift to some sports here. And speaking of sports, we've got some local sports. Opie, what you got down there, bud?
Yeah, so Jack plays on the 8th grade Bonaire.
Let everybody know who that is.
My son Jack plays football for the 8th grade Bonaire Jaguars. And so last year on the 7th grade team, they were undefeated, won the county championship. This year, they're in the playoffs, won their first playoff game last night. They scored, I think, 4 touchdowns. The other team scored 0. And don't remember the 2-point situation. But Jack got some good burn with the first team offense yesterday and did a great job. Really proud of him. Must be working really hard during practice to make that happen.
Now, he's center. Are they under center or with shotgun?
They do a mixture, but they did. But last night yesterday they were all under center. They may have done that because they were nervous, but I've seen him snap pistol and shotgun in a game, and he does fine.
Do it, Jack. And I did see where you said he commented on one of our shows. It was not on YouTube. It was he had a Spotify comment, which they're hard to find, but I did sneak in there and see that.
So just for the people that don't know, Opie also played center on the football team.
I did.
All region first team, baby.
Yep, honorable mention.
Like father, like son.
Yeah.
Oh, you wasn't the first team All-Star for Middle Georgia?
I was too small. I was a little guy back then.
First team right here.
We can't live. That dude segued that whole thing to circle back to that.
Yeah. Hey, so during the game, there's a kid named Andrew Bell who was having a great game on defense.
Good job, Andrew.
And he comes up, makes the sack, one of many plays that he made yesterday, and jumps up, grabs him one of them like he's slinging a hammer down, as a celebration.
Okay.
Coach immediately takes him out and starts fussing at him.
Yeah.
Good.
Here comes. Look at it. You can tell by the way he's looking.
There was
He
a
don't
lot
agree
of
with
people in the crowd that was not happy. Now,
Who cares?
Okay.
I don't know that it's wrong to get excited and celebrate a little bit.
You just get excited.
Or you can get excited and celebrate a little bit.
Or,
I don't think it's the
here's the
worst
thing.
thing in the world.
All right,
Here's
you teach him something here, please.
He's never been a real coach before. He doesn't understand. You've been a rec coach. You're not a real coach.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, you don't understand about
Because only coaches can have opinions
about program integrity.
Program integrity.
Yeah, you don't. I'm telling you, there's got to be continuity from year to year and discipline and things like that. If not, they just everything falls apart.
Everybody be robots.
So where's
the
celebration stop? We out there DX?
Yeah, DX. That's exactly what I say.
And that's a good celebration.
So vulgarity. Vulgarity.
So that's where the line's drawn.
Vulgarity.
I think so.
Well, isn't it kind of violent? Isn't it kind of to have a sledgehammer?
He didn't mimic that there was a person laying down,
So what if he gets out here, he gets the
It could have been an act. He was probably, chopping wood.
What if he gets the sack and then
What if the 15-yard penalty?
There wasn't.
Yeah, but could have been.
I've seen the coaches get a 15-yard penalty. I haven't seen a player get a 15-yard penalty for a little celebration by himself on the way back to the huddle.
But that one's a little celebration. What about the next one where they do? He goes rope to rope and drops people elbow down on the ground. Then they throw the penalty. Well,
that's a great
I was about to
celebration.
say that would be hilarious.
For it. So are we? Then you punish that guy. You can't do that. You were excited. You can't be that excited.
So we can't have any.
Celebrate with your teammates. High fives, chest bumps, all that stuff.
That's ridiculous.
Well, you're ridiculous.
So you can't backflip. You can't point at the crowd when you home run.
Flip? Are you kidding?
He said bat.
I said backflip.
Oh, I thought you said
you can't.
backflip.
I know your fat butt can't backflip. I ain't worried about that. But
This dude's calling me fat. Literally, look at sitting over his belt right here.
I didn't say I wasn't fat.
Okay, I was about to say you're the heaviest.
Only because Raji's not here.
Well, he's carrying his a little better than you are these days.
He's a good bit taller.
I'm just disappointed in you, Opie, about the celebration.
I'm disappointed in y'all. I knew y'all were going to take that long test.
You cannot be surprised. You know this is how he is. He's real liberal.
Though? Y'all came from the same house.
So liberal.
This is Buddy Johnson's finest I'm sitting with, and
you see why he's not even in the conversation to be the pride of Buddy Johnson Road.
Your argument doesn't even make sense. Well, he might do something bad, so we can't let him celebrate at all.
We didn't say that, but you just go back.
That is what you said. You're like, well, what if he does something worse next time?
Yeah.
But he easily could have gotten a penalty right there for that.
I can tell you this. If I'm out there officiating and I see the kid get up and go back and drop a sledgehammer, my laundry's coming out.
That's not against the rules. So you're just doing that because you're an old lame person. It's not against the rules.
Hey, do you know the rules?
Do you know the rules?
I just said I did.
You don't, though.
Sure I did.
Quote me the rule that says you can't celebrate by yourself on the way back to the huddle.
Thanks, you just paraphrased it for me. That was it.
Opie.
So dumb.
Shame.
Y'all are idiots.
Let's talk real sports, not binary middle. Opie, tell us a little bit about before, and again, we're going to talk some Georgia coming up, but there's some stuff going on with UNLV quarterback, then also with Bear Alexander, kind of a similar situation. Just kind of tell everybody what's kind of coming to service on that today.
So last night, Bear announced that he's going to forgo the rest of the season and redshirt. And then earlier this week, the starting quarterback for 3-0 UNLV announced that he was going to sit out the rest of the season and redshirt. And his situation, I don't know 100% of the details on Bears, but knowing his history, I would not be surprised if it was a very similar situation. The UNLV quarterback, they are ranked for the first time in history of any major poll. He has, I think he's thrown 6 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's doing well. You know, they beat Kansas in prime time the other night. And supposedly, according to him and his agent, they were promised $100,000 this year for him in NIL money for him to come play at UNLV. Well, now they are not paying. They've been telling him, hey, just get to campus and the checks will start. Well, just wait till the season starts and the checks will start. And then they never started. They finally offered him $3,000 a week for 4 weeks, which is not what they agreed to. And supposedly an assistant coach, the offensive coordinator, is the one who told him $100,000. Well, the head coach and the university.
So there's nowhere it's written. Like, this is just a verbal,
but that is how the current NIL situation operates. There's no contract is necessary. It's all off verbal agreements. So the offense coordinator can't be reached for comment. The head coach is saying that guy doesn't even have authority to make that offer. I don't have any record of any offers being made like that. And then the university is saying it is not the time, like the window for those type of discussions is not open, so we can't even entertain that discussion. We reported it to the NCAA. So he's like, fine, if you're not going to pay me my money, I'll go sit out for the rest of the year and y'all can figure out what to do at quarterback. So he's going to redshirt this year. He's only played 3 games. You can play 4 and still redshirt. So he's going to sit out this year and go play somewhere next year for another team. And he's a good quarterback. He rushed for over 100 yards last game. So I think this is going to happen more and more. You know, you keep having these situations where people go to a certain university based off some NIL promises, and then it doesn't happen. And now their only leverage is to just sit out and go play next year. Or maybe they start playing not so good. The NIL money stops, and then they're either sitting out or not in a contract anymore and not getting paid. So I think it's going to open up a ton of new problems. And you know, for this kid, he's not going to go pro. So this is his opportunity to make money as a college quarterback with his now 5th or 6th year of eligibility.
Do you agree with him doing that?
I don't like it. I probably would not do the same thing because I'm a try hard, and I'm gonna feel like I'm abandoning my teammates. But it's a business now, and that's how he's making his money for himself, setting himself up for the future. And $100,000 is a lot of money.
It is.
So I don't blame him one bit for sitting out. It's not a good look. It's not popular. But if you look at the situation logically, and what he's saying is the truth, which I believe it is, then I mean, what other choice does he have? He needs to make that money, and he's not. They're going back on a promise, and he needs to make that money somewhere else. Allegedly, he was offered 4 times that at other universities, and he came to UNLV because of the unique situation he was going to have there. But
my thing is, if you were offered that from other universities, that means you're obviously a decent player. So why not just finish out the year and put together some film and now go somewhere else that's going to pay you?
Would this be his last year?
This is his last year of eligibility, and he's a good college quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback.
So
he came from was it Holy Cross or something like that? I think it was a D2 school. And I mean, he's played well. He's put some good stuff on tape this year that will probably get him paid pretty well next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with the player on this one. It's obviously a flawed system. You know, and I think there's more flaws in this too. You know, I think there's tampering. I think coaches and programs are, you know, poaching players that, you know, that's not the way it's designed to work. But I think it happens. So, but no, I hope the dude gets paid.
It's a whole new world in college football. I mean, you look at Florida State. I mean, they are the poster child for the downside of these transfers. They hit the jackpot last year, and then
still couldn't beat them dogs though.
And then this year, they didn't hit the jackpot, and they're awful. because they're banking on that talent from the transfer portal. And it really came down to one guy. Cam Ward was going to make or break
And he
Florida
would have.
State or Miami.
I believe he would. I mean, I believe Florida State's sitting there undefeated, one loss with him at quarterback. I mean, it's
Me too. He's that good.
so it's tough to be a Knowles
But no,
fan.
they don't have a backup plan. Not a
That's a
good
good thing. That's one, obviously, as Georgia fans, we love. Kirby's going to get the guys he's got. He's going to train them up, and then he's going to sprinkle in talent that will help put us over the top. But
one. You can provide depth through the transfer portal. You can't build a team with it. And thankfully, we're at a program, and it's at the right time. We were good at the right time with all the stuff happening, that we had the program that people believe they can get through competition, they can get to the NFL and make the real money.
Yeah.
So they're willing to go through some hardships, sit down a year or two, and still come through on the other side a better player.
Yep.
So that's a huge benefit for us. We get the right kind of kids.
King Kirby.
King Kirby. So what about Bear Alexander? I know there's not a lot of details yet because I think it just came out yesterday. But I mean, you're talking about a guy who was a good player at Georgia. I guess it was his freshman year, made some plays, and would have been, I mean, a huge piece of Georgia right now. Like if he don't leave Georgia,
He'd be a starting defensive tackle.
The problem with him is mentally he's not that he's not sold out and bought into whatever Kirby Smart was selling.
He's sold out for Bear Alexander.
Yeah.
And he changed high schools like 5 different times during high school. So, and that was always the knock on him. And so now he's been Georgia for 1 year and did great. USC. Didn't he go to Texas, then USC, or was it
Not
just USC?
USC.
Okay. No,
but it's only going to be 1 year now because this
Yeah.
was year 2, right? Which
Yep.
is going to be his redshirt year. Mm-hmm. So I guess in that situation, Lincoln Riley and them over at USC, like you've got a kid that comes in and says, "Hey, I'm going to redshirt the rest of this year." I guess you have to allow them. Do you have to keep them on the team and keep that spot? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he go to practice with them the rest of the year as a redshirt member, or does he? You know, I wonder what that looks like in that meeting. Like,
If I were Lincoln Riley, I'd say, okay, you're redshirt. You're done. You're not coming back. No more team activities.
I would too, but I don't know that red shirts are allowed to. I really don't know. I guess I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, red shirts practice every day with them.
Okay.
I think. I'm sure they do, and they just can't play in the game. So, I guess the difference in it is there's a difference in coach redshirting you to better help you be a better member of the team in the future, and you redshirting yourself for whatever reasons come out. But again, I'm glad we don't have that problem. And you know, for a kid, a guy like that who's obviously been that way, but you got to think. I mean, if he just would have kept his head on his shoulders, he'd probably be. I guarantee you, because he's super talented.
First, second round pick.
Yeah, well, this coming year possibly. Like,
Yeah, if he was on Georgia's defense for the 3rd year in a row, he'd be the anchor of that defensive line, and he'd be on a national championship contending team every year, and everybody would know who Bear Alexander is.
Yep, I
for the
agree.
right reasons.
That's right. That was funny watching the NFL games of the night it's got now with the transfer portal when they do those player intros on, I don't know if it was Sunday night or Monday Night Football. I think it was Monday night. I can't remember. But, you know, it comes on, you know, Chuck Hill, so-and-so. And some of them will say they're high school, some of them say they're college. Well, now some of them are listing their colleges. But like Chuck Hill, Georgia Southern. That's what it, I don't know. I thought that was just kind of funny that's where we've got now, where these guys are just listing multiple colleges they're going to. But it does keep it interesting, you know, because as a Georgia fan, if you land a big transfer from somewhere else, you're fired up about it. So, you know, it makes it somewhat interesting.
We don't normally land big transfers, though. You look at like Oregon, you know, they would not be able to contend if they didn't have a new transfer quarterback the last
2 years in a row.
last 2 years, yeah.
That creates the national championship picture.
That's-
Ohio State transfer quarterback, Oregon transfer quarterback. I mean, I guarantee you half or more of the playoff teams will have a transfer quarterback.
The only one, if we could have landed Caleb Downs this last year, that would have been one of the bigger ones that I would say Kirby's gotten that was going to have a direct impact. So, let's talk a little Braves baseball before we get on the other side of the next break and have our guest picker to come in. But, you know, we're sitting here with the Braves. We've got the hurricane coming in this weekend, so we're filming on a Thursday morning. You're getting this on a Friday or after. But the Braves scheduled for a doubleheader on Monday against the Mets. Took game 1 a game back out of the wild card. Give me some predictions coming down the stretch. We did, which I don't know how the rotation's going to end up, but you felt good about us going Chris Sale, Max Fried against the Mets to possibly go for the sweep.
Wasn't it going to be?
Sale was 2, Fried was 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt really good about Sale, and I still do. But now they get a chance to
Reset
theirs. Well, no, I take it back. They don't, because they're going to go play 3 games against the Brewers. We're going to go play 3 games against the Royals.
Yep.
Both teams are good teams. Both teams are going to present some problems. The Diamondbacks are the 3rd team that we're tied with, who are I don't know who they're playing, but they're both tied for the last spot, and we're a game back. I wanted to be able to play yesterday to get Chris Sale in and then have a day. And I thought that we would be able to weather-wise, but I think it was more people traveling to the game. After the game was going to start raining, probably would have had a thinner crowd. We had over 40,000 people night before last. Mm-hmm. So Truist Park is counting on those big gates, big playoff type gates. I mean, they're going to make $1 million every game, or millions of dollars every game. So that's why they were pushing to not move the games to a neutral site. They want those gates and all their surrounding things too. So it kind of sucks, but I think it doesn't kill us, and we'll hopefully win at least one more game, take the series, and then have a chance to go win it in the last series.
Yep. So as it sits on Friday for the Braves, they don't have any pictures posted even through next week. Even so, they've kind of got the freedom now with a couple of days off to kind of reset, and which means you probably may get Schwellenbach again on the back end, who has done really well. But
I mean, starting pitching has not been our issue. We're I think number 2 in the National League with starting pitching ERA. It's bullpen and it's hitting.
So essentially, we need, worst case, we need the Braves to take 2 out of 3 from Kansas City. We need the Mets to take 1 out of 3 and let that thing be tied coming into the. And then if the Braves, because then I think if I got it right, if the Braves win 2 out of 3 in the next series against the Royals, Mets take 1 out of 3. We're tied coming to the last 2. If the Braves win that first game, the second game won't matter because we'll have the head-to-head. Because coming into this series, we were dead even. So if the Braves have won 2 out of 3, they would have the head-to-head. So that's how we need to play out. That's kind of what I'm banking on. So big things happening in Atlanta, though. That game was exciting the other night watching. It felt like a playoff game.
Yeah.
And there was something on the line.
It's must win at this point.
Yep. All right. We're going to take a quick final short commercial break, and on the other side of it, we're going to get our guest caller on the phone and get our picks in for the week, and I'll update you kind of where everybody else sits. So y'all stay with us. We'll be right. I'm not on the right page. Right back.
Bank of Dudley is proud to sponsor the Big Ugly Sports Show. Wherever you're listening to your favorite sports show, you can also be banking with your favorite bank. Bank of Dudley offers mobile and online banking platforms to make managing your money easy. Get on that Bank of Dudley bus. Bank of Dudley since 1905. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. We are here for segment 3, and it is time for our picks this week and to get our guest picker on the phone. And so let me kind of update you on our standings right now. Raji with a chill-like performance last week pulls a 1-9, which drops him to 19-21. Okay, Hight comes out with a 6-4. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just battling.
Hight comes out with a 6-4, which puts him at 19-21 and a tie for first. Opie comes in at 4-6, which puts him at 19-21 and a tie from first. And Chill needed a big week to get to 19-21, but instead I went 4-6, and I'm sitting at 16-24. So we've got a 3-way tie for first. None of us above 500, which is not a good look for the boys, but
it's a long season.
It's a long season, long way to go. And so update on our guest pickers. Josh Rico Gay comes in at 6-4.
Taking the lead.
6-4 on the last week, so takes the lead above Tate, Chan, and Noah. So with that being said, we would like to welcome in our new guest picker for the week and a long-time loyal bus member. And Hight, I'll allow you to introduce her. Give a little background on her.
Well, she's a legend. Former Former trainer for the University of Georgia Bulldogs. She's my neighbor and a good friend of all of ours, really. Whitney Hobbs.
Good morning, Whitney.
Good morning.
And Whitney, you haven't heard today's episode, obviously, because we're not live. But if you will, there was an incident that happened last Friday at the football game where it was reported that Hight told another kid in y'all's neighborhood, John Ross, to basically shut up, you're not my kid, and he two-hand shoved him. So just, if you will, with the neighborhood watch, if you and Corey just kind of keep an eye on that, we want to make sure John Ross is well taken care of.
Hey, if you see something, say something.
If you see something, say something.
You know I love those
we gotta
babies.
keep these kids tough. We gotta keep these kids tough on dog legs.
That's right.
That's fair. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and dive in. We appreciate you joining us. I know Corey probably still asleep right now, but
probably in a bleacher somewhere.
He's actually
right
awake. He's actually awake. He just woke up.
There he is. All right. So, Opie, we'll start with you at the gate right here. A little SEC matchup that could be fun, but with a big spread. You've got Kentucky getting 17.5 points traveling to Ole Miss.
So I'm a little torn on this because Ole Miss is going to put up some points, but Kentucky's style of offense lends itself to not a whole lot of possessions in a game. 17.5 points is a lot. I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
Okay. All right.
Threw me a curveball there, Up. I
mean, he said everything Kentucky there.
Yeah, I'll take Ole Miss. I think they'll run it up on them.
Well, I'm going to go opposite of that. I think Kentucky is going to play it tough. I think, like, Opie, you made the points that I would have made for Kentucky. I think their defense will slow Ole Miss down. I do think Ole Miss will score, but I think Kentucky will hold the ball a lot more, and I do think they lose, but I think 17.5 is a lot to cover, so I'll take Kentucky. What about you, Whitney?
I'm taking Ole Miss on this one, too. I just think they're just rolling strong. Kentucky, I mean, of course, they play Georgia tough, but they always do when we go to Kentucky. So I'm taking Ole Miss.
All right. Hight, we'll start with you here. Top 25 matchup, Oklahoma State getting 5.5 at Kansas State.
I will take Kansas State to cover.
Okay.
I will take Kansas State also.
Well, I got to keep betting against the Hightower boys, and I'm a man. I'm 40, so I'm going to take Oklahoma State and the Fighting Gundys over there. I think Ollie Gordon's going to have a big game, and they'll, because I'm pretty sure Kansas State didn't BYU smoke them this past weekend?
Yeah, they did.
Thank you, Whitney. So appreciate you giving us some sports insight.
I got y'all.
He ain't 40 no more. He's like 57. That'll hurt your feelings.
Yeah. Whitney, who you like here?
I'm taking Kansas State as well.
K-State. All right, here we go.
Good pick.
Now we're gonna stay inside the state here. Got who's the real GSU matchup here? So we got
this is a terrible game.
You got Southern, not State. You got State, not Southern. So we've got Georgia Southern getting 3 at Georgia State, and I'll lead off here. For some reason, I just continue to not like Georgia Southern. And I feel like it's getting worse and worse over the years, and I really can't really explain why. I really can't. But I don't care for Georgia Southern. I'm going to go for Georgia State, and, we got that blood in our blood, and Toombs County's quarterback, TJ Stanley, will be playing at Georgia State next year, so go Panthers.
Well, when I was at Georgia Southern, Georgia State kind of started coming up as a college, and they stole at GSU in our emails. We were at gsu.edu, and they stole it.
Yeah, because when I went there, it was at Georgia Southern.
It must not have been trademarked or something.
Well, the state of Georgia gave it to them, and I'm still mad about it. Georgia Southern's going to whip them.
Good reason. I like it.
You know how many times I had to type out Georgia Southern University? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't like Georgia Southern either. Because of their fans and how obnoxious they are. But I'm going to have to take them in the points.
Do they bark at people or something?
They're not that cool.
What about you, Whit?
I'm with y'all on Georgia Southern fans. I can't stand how they hate on Georgia.
It's because they're jealous, Whit. They're jealous.
I'll fight all y'all.
They are. I love Opie. You've outproved one of my points. I love how mad they get about the GSU thing. So
it ain't right.
I think Georgia State, they're coming off a bye too, and they just had that big win at Vandy. Kind of weird to say, but I mean that was a big win over Vandy. I think
And then Vandy plays Mizzou close this last week.
Exactly. So I'm taking Georgia State on this one.
Georgia State in the playoffs. Here we go. All right, we'll start with you again, Opie, right here. Illinois plus 17.5 on the road at Penn State.
Man, 17.5 points is a lot. It's a lot.
Wasn't that much with Ole Miss, though.
Hey, 17.5, ton of points, man. I don't know how they'll cover it. I'll take Penn State.
This one's a toss-up for me. It's at Penn State, but I think Illinois is I saw them play for about 5 minutes earlier this season, so I'm going to take them.
Is it Illinois or is it Illinois? Because you put it like it's a noise, like sound. And I'm anxious to see. I'm asking.
I've heard it both ways.
Illinois or Illinois?
I think it's Illinois, but
okay. Well, that's not what you said.
I've been wrong a lot.
Hi, what you got here, bud?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Illinois as well.
Okay. Good reasoning.
If it was at home, it'd be Illinois.
Okay, that makes be some noise there. Well, Illinois just knocked off undefeated Nebraska last week, broke Matt Anderson's heart and Rayola's heart. I'm not a huge Penn State guy. I think they're overrated year in and year out, and I do think 17.5 is a lot of points. So give me Illinois, the Fighting Illini on the road at Penn State. Whit?
Yeah, I agree. 17.5 is a lot, especially Illinois. I mean, their offense, passing game, looking pretty good. So I'm taking Illinois in the points. I think Penn State wins, but I'm taking Illinois in the points.
I like it. Well, you know what time it is. Big game. Big game. We'll just kind of let this linger in the background and talk about it. All right, Hight, we've got UGA minus 1.5 going in to Alabama. Number 2 versus number 4. Feels like a playoff game. What do we got here?
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait for Mike Bobo to just unleash all kinds of fury over there in Tuscaloosa. It's going to be a show of fireworks over there. It's going to be great. We're going to win by at least 7.
Got a spy tutty?
Yep.
All right, Opie, what you got?
The first SEC game for Caleb DeBoer. Who knows how he's going to respond? I mean, I think he's a good coach. Somebody said that he was close on the heels of Kirby Smart as the best coach in college football.
Do you remember last time somebody said that? Tyler Rogers said that about Mike Norvell at FSU.
Yeah, said he was doing better. I definitely got the Dogs. I know running quarterbacks give us a fit, so I'm worried about that. But I think the Dogs are going to be motivated. Stinking hate Alabama.
Yep,
hate them.
Yeah, I got Dogs big here, and by big I mean more than 7. I'm with Hight on that. But you do know who's going to be there, Hight, don't you?
45 and 47.
Danny. Huh? Do you? I was hoping you.
Donald Trump.
So
Jamie Lawhorn will not like that because he's big Kamala. Big Kamala guy.
So I do, man. I can't wait. I'm with y'all. Game day is going to be there. It's just going to be so much fun. It's a night game.
Dude, what if Trump was a guest picker?
Do what?
If Donald Trump was a guest picker on College Game Day, not here with. I mean,
yeah.
Love to have him, but
y'all were close.
He'd have to wait. He'd have to wait till next week.
Could you imagine Donald Trump and Pat McAfee get going at it on just getting wild?
I can tell you this, based on his past, I wouldn't be sitting anywhere near Donald Trump. He was up there on that
I would not
stage.
Easy now.
All right, Will, who you got?
Ooh, y'all are a lot more confident than I am. I don't know. I'm nervous about this one.
Whit, tell us a little bit about it last time you were in Tuscaloosa.
Last time I was in Tuscaloosa was the last time we won in Tuscaloosa in 2007. Came down to OT. Bama went up by a field goal. Stafford came in, one pass to Mikey Henderson to the corner. Dogs on top.
Man, what a time to be
It's like I just saw it again. You painted a picture.
I bet. Did you throw your fanny pack up in the air?
Absolutely. Water bottle, fanny
tape
pack
flying everywhere.
Yeah. No, I do. I hope Bobo. I hope, Adam, I hope you're right. Bobo comes out. He can't wait till the third quarter. I don't know. I've been through some bad UGA Alabama games. I was looking back since 2007. I've been to 9 out of 10 of the games, and they beat us 7 out of those 9. Ooh,
The tides
All
have
right,
turned.
I'm ready to turn. It's time. It's time to turn it. So I got dogs on top.
Dogs on top.
That's a great pick, Whit. Great pick.
Couldn't have been a better pick. Well, Whit, thank you so much for waking up this
Thank
morning and
y'all.
calling in to the Buzz Show. We appreciate you being a loyal listener.
Absolutely.
Chuck, she's up every morning. She's down there at CrossFit with all them just
That's
getting
right.
after it.
I've already been to the gym and back home.
Man, bless your heart. Meanwhile, we all got bags under our eyes sitting here mad because we'll wait. All right, Whit. Well, we'll talk to you
All right,
later.
thank
Go
y'all.
Dogs.
All right. Go Dogs.
See ya.
Bye.
That's Whitney Hobbs, the wife of one Corey Hobbs, loyal Bus member, loyal Bus fan, and huge diehard Dogs fan. And don't get it twisted. Let Bobo come out the gate slow. It'll be on Facebook. Whitney will
be running him down for sure.
Oh, yeah. Do you believe that Bobo and the Dogs kept the vanilla last week against the Wildcats?
Yeah,
On purpose.
I do, and I think that there was also a game plan of we want to be as physical as we can be this week because the game versus Alabama is going to be very physical.
Well, they weren't very physical against Kentucky.
No, they didn't execute very well, but I just think that was, part of the game plan is is try to establish some physicality there.
And although it's Kentucky and Smart, I'm sure preached to them. They all talked about how it's tough to play in Kentucky, but as those guys in that locker room, you can't tell me they ain't some extent looking past Kentucky, knowing you got a bye week and then you got Bama. So I'll chalk it up to that. But man, I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun to get up.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm fired up to watch the game.
Me too.
Man, the barn's going to be rocking come Saturday.
Man.
You going to be there, Oak?
No, I'm smoking a brisket at the house, and I am looking forward to. Man, when a big game comes up, I don't like to watch it with a bunch of folks. I like to watch it at my house, where I have a very quiet environment, and I can hear every word the broadcaster says.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I've done that. I actually watched when Georgia won their first national championship and the Braves won the World Series. I was
Back in
by
42.
myself in my house.
Back in 42.
Well, I meant here recently.
Okay.
You know what I meant. The first of two.
Got him.
You did get me. The first of two here recently. But I watched them by myself because one, it was school night and I was tired. But it just, I like a smaller environment, but I don't want to watch it by myself.
Yeah,
I want to have at least a buddy.
Well, Amy watches it with me.
Again, I want to have at least a buddy.
Amy's a good time.
Oh, you ain't your wife's not your friend?
No, not in college football. She's not.
If it was Braves time, she would be his buddy. She
Okay.
loves Braves.
Okay. Well,
And we watch them together, but I mean, she don't care about football.
Well,
I want somebody I can talk about.
But I get a text. I text y'all the whole time. So
Which is annoying.
So hold on. So what if it were the three of us, Jay and Corey?
I would love that group. Because we would actually watch the game. But when I go to Jay's house and there's 40 people over there, I end up not being able to watch the game. Or his Wi-Fi goes out or some nonsense. And we end up not being able to watch the game.
Those are all factors.
I get
agree.
distracted.
But on top of that, one thing that does help even out is you gonna eat good and not some dry behind brisket like you about to cook and eat.
That's a fact. So.
Dude's gonna be just gumming down brisket
let me
this
just-
weekend.
Man, it's pretty good.
No, let me-
He's gonna send us a picture. Dude's gonna pour some water under it and then squeeze it like some juice came out of it.
Let me address this once and for all, okay? That whole thing is the whole dry brisket thing is a fabrication by Adam, because he was making fun of me because I have a good process, and I'm like, well, you got to slice this in this way, you got to slice this in, and then he starts making fun of it, saying it's dry.
Joe was dry,
and
boy.
then he's like,
I did see some pictures though. I mean, it looked dry.
and then
That
he's
Joe
like,
was soaking
he's
that
like,
salsa. I started coughing.
But you don't use sauce with a good brisket. And then he's like, Daddy, give me
That's
some more.
why how dry it was. Yeah.
He's like, Daddy, give me some more too. It's so dry. I'm so thirsty. And so then no matter what I cooked, he would say it was dry. I ain't never tried that.
You gotta call spade a spade, don't you?
Yes, sir. One thing about me, I'm gonna tell the truth.
Running my name down. I don't like it.
Oh, man.
Wheels on the bus going
All right, boys, we ran out of time. Opie, you got any closing comments?
round and round.
It wasn't dry.
Yeah, wheels going round.
Height, bring us home, bud.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, thebiguglysportshow.com. I think that's all of it.
Thanks again to all of our sponsors, the Bank of Dudley, Brian's Giant Subs, Elite Comfort Solutions, and the Big Peach Car Wash getting closer and closer opening. Thank you guys for allowing us to do the show. We appreciate you. No matter where you're at today, whatever you're doing, first off, stay out that weather. But when you're not in that weather, tell them what to do, Hight.
Get on that bus.
Swishing, 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 swishing. Yeah, they swishing, 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 swishing. Ooh. Yeah, swishing, 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 swishing. Yeah, and they swishing, swishing, swish, swish, swish.